Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Leonida, and today I am talking about the courts of heaven. This is part 5 in the courts of heaven. And what I want to say today, and I'm only going to bring a couple passages, maybe one or two, is that we go to the courts of heaven and we know that there's always going to be an accusation. Why? Because when we do something that is against the law of God, then there is actually an opening, and we are now legally available to those other, let's say, powers that we have done something wrong, and therefore there is a legal reason for us to incur other types of, let's say, curses, because people don't like talking about this, but they are real. And curses could be anything from like tickets to just something wrong happening in your house, maybe a flood. I mean, anything that is free from something positive can be considered a curse. And today I want to talk about a couple verses, because we need to know that when we are coming into the courts, we are bringing a litigation that is an accusation against. We are coming in knowing that something we did was in violation of the law of God. And there are angels, dark angels, or, well, whatever kind of angels that are standing and watching and accusing us, because there is something now to bring legally against this person. If you're the person, then if you've wronged someone, there is an accusation. Anytime you do something that violates a law, then there is a legal accusation against you. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and read Revelation. Well, let's see. Okay, I'll read Revelation 12:10. It says, I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, now salvation and strength in the kingdom of God and the power of Christ have come. For the accuser of our brethren, who accuses them before God day and night, has been cast down. Now, a lot of us know this verse, but when we talk about the courts of heaven, there is a real legal accusation against you. And so when we come and address the people of the court, we need to remember that we all are also coming in with a legal accusation. And we are coming in with the motivation of removing that accusation and admitting that it is, in fact, true. Okay? So we are making a legal decision that, yes, in fact, we were the ones to blame. So if we were in a court, a real court in Los Angeles, we would say, yes, Your Honor, I did it. It was me. I sinned against. Now, in this case, you're bringing a legal accusation that is a real accusation before the Lord. Okay? And you're coming into a court case that when you invoke the judge, which we talked about before in, I think, part 2, we are also invoking those other powers that have seen and witnessed what we did that was illegal. And we know that there is actually an accuser, because there's a legal reason for us to be now in the courts, to have experienced something negative in our life. Okay? And there are many, many verses. Zechariah 3:1 says, then he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to oppose him. Now, I'm not going to talk about the interpretation of that passage. However, I just want to say that there are angels that know when we have done something that is legally against the law of God. Okay, and we have done something illegally against the law of God, that we must go before God to cleanse that. Okay, and then there's of course the long passage, Revelation 12, verse 7 through 12, where Michael engages in a battle, and at the end of the day, Michael wins. So we always need to plead guilty. Why? Because we when we do something that violates the law of God, there is a sanction, there is a legal reason now for us to stand before God in that negative place, and there's always a result. So that's something that I don't know how to define, but there's a result in the natural, not just in the spiritual. And what we're doing is we're going to the spiritual to basically claim that, yes, we were the ones. That's why we agree with the adversary. We agree that, yes, we are guilty. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about that we are pleading that we are the guilty ones, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that.